In Job chapter number 10, verse number 1, the Bible says, "My soul is weary of my life." Let that soak in just a second. Now look what Job's done went through here. He's lost all of his family except his wife, which is a picture of the bride of Christ and the bride of the groom. I don't get into that because that's pretty deep, but he's already lost all of his sons and his daughters, his oxen, his asses, his land, houses. I mean, he's done lost everything. And then we find earlier, before chapter number 10, that he goes out and he's covered in boils from the head of his feet, or from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. And he goes out and he sits in the ashes where he's been making sacrifices to God. Now it's very important that we establish what I'm trying to get across right here before we get any further, or you'll miss the meaning of the whole purpose of the message this morning. Job had never seen God before.
Amen.
All Job had to go on was he had some blessings in his life.
Yeah.
He acquired a lot of physical things. But, God never gave him revelation. God never spoke to him like he did Moses in the burning bush and all of these different things. And so, if you want to talk about faith, Job had faith. I mean, he had very, very little evidence that God even existed.
Right.
And so when you understand that, it helps you to understand chapter number 10, verse number 1, when he says, "My soul is weary of my life." You see, we do that, don't we?
Sure.
We get not necessarily weary in well-doing, but we get to places in our life that we're, God, where are you at?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Sure.
Why am I suffering?
Yeah.
Why am I going through what I'm going through?
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of reasons. Some, we're reaping what we've sown.
Yeah.
Some is that where God's got us in His training camp,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
He goes on, he says, "I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul." My. We get to that point.
Yeah.
But we have complaints and we'll blame the bitterness on somebody else.
Right.
Well, so-and-so did this to me, and that's why I'm acting the way that I'm acting.
Right.
We act the way we act because most times we're brats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yeah.
Verse 2 says, "I will say unto God." Don't you notice here, he don't say my God.
Yeah.
It's very important what's not in your mind.
Yeah.
"Do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldest despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked?" So now we see his face back that God's real.
Amen.
I mean, man, he's a ball of emotion.
Yeah.
But look at verse number 4. The Bible says, "Hast thou eyes of flesh? For seest thou as the man seeth? Are thy days as the days of man? Are thy years as man's days? That thou inquirest after mine iniquity and searchest after my sin?" He's asking God, are you acting like a man?
Right.
Do you have eyes?
Yeah.
Do you have the flesh to contend with? I mean, look, try to get in the mind of Job right here. I mean, he's all pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
"Thou knowest that I am not wicked, and there is none that can deliver out of thine hand. Thine hands have made me and fashioned me together round about, yet thou dost destroy me. Remember, I beseech thee." Now, I want you to look at the doubt that's cast on God right there.
Yeah.
In what he's saying in his mind, there's the potential that God has been able to forget.
Yeah. Amen.
And he says, "Remember,
Yeah.
Yeah.
remember, I beseech thee that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again? Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and curdled me like cheese?"
Wow.
Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and sinews. Notice here, and I'm going to stop reading right there, but I want you to notice in verse number 11, it's Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me. Job is saying, God, you put limitations on me.
Yeah.
And of course, we know we are limited.
Right.
But God says later that I can do all things through Christ,
Right.
which strengtheneth me.
Yeah.
See, Christ ain't in the picture in the mind of Job yet.
Amen.
He's talking to the Father here.
Yeah.
So now notice this with me again, and then we'll pray and give you the thoughts the Lord gave me. But back to verse number 4, where he says, Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as a man seeth? He's asking a question. There's question marks there. He's asking God, do you have eyes? Like man? Hast thou eyes of flesh, where it says flesh? Hast thou eyes of flesh? That you can't see the good that I'm doing because the flesh is always on evil.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
For seest thou as a man seeth? He's saying, can't you see any different than a man can see? I mean, there's a whole lot going on right here.
Right.
All through the book of Job, there's a lot going on in chapter number 4. Let's pray. Father, we do thank you this morning for the reading of the Word of God. I thank you for our visitors this morning, Lord. I thank you for our faithful few. Lord, I pray that you give us grace and mercy this morning. Lord, give us the power of God that we might preach under demonstration this morning, Lord, that you might be exalted. Lord, that you might be seen high and lifted up. God, give us clarity of mind, clarity of speech, that we might, Lord, do that you called us to do. Lord, I pray you search every heart gathered in this place. Father, maybe today is the day that somebody, Lord, needs to rededicate their lives. Maybe today is the day that somebody, Lord, needs to go in the town, surrender all to you. Lord, that they might depend and trust on you. And Father, that their life, Lord, might get a little easier on this side, Father. I know it'd be harder, the battles will be harder, but Lord, it's easier when we know that you've got us by the hand and lead us through the things of this world. Now, Father, have your good pleasure, your good will this morning, I beg you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And amen. Now again, I want you to notice here, Job is questioning the power and the ability and the mind of God. But then when we turn over to the Gospel of John, you don't have to turn to read one verse scripture here. In the Gospel of John, chapter number 1, verse number 7, the Bible says this. No, wait a minute. I'm in the wrong place. Verse number 14. The Bible says in verse number 14, and the Word was made flesh.
Yeah.
And dwelt among us. Now remember, Job said, Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as the man seeth? And then John says, and the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, and the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and of truth. Now I want you to get this. I want you to picture something here that we don't get into very often. But I want us to realize this morning that Jesus Christ was the Word of God, and He was made flesh.
Yeah.
And He came to this world, and we all know that He did, because we see too many evidences in our own lives besides historical events.
Yeah.
But we see that Jesus came in the flesh just because where Job said what he had said. Now, this didn't catch the Lord by surprise. This never caught the Father by surprise. He knew these questions was going to happen before He ever created the heavens and the earth. But see, in the fullness of time has come, that which is in part shall be done away with, right? And so we see that we're getting a more completed book from Job's time to John's time. And so we're getting all of the details filled in as we go through the Word of God until we finally get all of it together, and not us, but until the Word of God was completed, that we have the full writings of the Word of God. Amen. And so we see that God done that, so today nobody can go sit in their ashes, or nobody can go sit in their bedroom or on a bus or wherever and say, God, do you have eyes as a flesh? Or, God, why are you doing this to me?
Amen.
See, we've got this thing that we learn as we're growing up. You never question God. Right? Well, there is some things that you shouldn't question God about. But it's only a few things. Because if you could never ask God a question, how would you ever know anything? Right? So there's nothing wrong with questioning God. The problem is you never question His Word. You never question his instruction.
Right.
Yeah.
You never question. He tells us, like I said, that which is full is come, that which is partial done away. We've got the full counsel
Yeah.
of the Word of God, and it tells us exactly
Right.
what to do and exactly not what not to do.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's the things that we shouldn't question. We shouldn't question, should I kill that man? You know, that should, now there's times I do that.
Sure.
There's times that I've had thoughts run through my mind, boy, I'm sure I can find a hole big enough that nobody won't find them.
Yeah.
And I bet you we can.
Sure.
But we'll never hide it from God.
Amen.
Amen. I'm telling you, the Lord's own things kept me from doing a lot of things in my life.
Amen.
Not because I was afraid of getting caught by man, but I was afraid that I was going to get caught by him.
Amen.
To get caught means that you're getting away with it until that time of apprehension, but God
Right.
already knows, amen?
Yeah.
So we see here that he became flesh. The Word became flesh and he dwelt among us. And if you read Job, you'll find that Job asked many questions about what he's going through. He's kind of on it back at God and said,
Yeah.
well, hadn't you never went through this?
Amen.
Well, Jesus was tempted, the Bible said, in all manner as men.
Right. Man.
So there's no temptation that's taken you that the Lord had
That's
already went through it,
Yeah.
and
Amen.
he sinned not.
Amen.
Now, can I be honest with you this morning? There's temptations that you'll surrender to, and there's temptations that you won't.
Sure.
Yeah.
It ain't because one's greater or weaker than the other. It's because one's more enticing.
Amen.
One's more satisfying than the
Yeah.
flesh.
Sure.
Amen.
Yeah.
There's things that I've never experienced in my life that would be tempting for me to do, but it's not a strong temptation because I don't know what I'm missing.
Right.
Amen.
Amen.
But there's things that I have done, and those temptations are stronger because in my memory bank I remember that there's pleasure in sin for a season.
Amen.
And so what I've got to do is I can't sit and reason with my own self because myself is flesh.
Yeah.
My eyes are flesh.
Yeah.
Amen. So I've got to go back to the Word of God and say, Lord, what does the standard say?
Amen.
Now let's stop, think about that word standard for just a moment. Let's take something everybody understands. Let's take your vehicle. Your car has a recommended tire size on your car.
Sure.
Right? And now whatever that size is, it's on your door, that is the standard size for your vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What that means is this: if you go up a size or you go down a size, everything about that car, just about it, changes.
Yeah.
Your speedometer will get slower or it will get faster.
Yeah.
If you got that standard tire on that thing, and that thing's what it's supposed to be, you got these speed limit signs, and you obey those speed limit signs by looking at your speedometer.
Amen.
Now, if you put a bigger tire on your vehicle than what's supposed to be on it, your speedometer is going to be slower.
Amen.
And the reason is because that tire is larger and it's a longer revolution
Right.
for it to turn. See, that's how that speedometer works, is by how many times that tire is turning.
Yeah.
And if you've got a smaller tire, it's going to turn faster.
Sure.
So your speedometer is going to speed way up. And then you see that speed limit sign that says 55, and you've got a little guitar on there, and it says you're going 55, and everybody's passing you, and you think everybody's maniacs.
Yeah.
But when you're really running probably 45 or 50, depending on how small the tire is,
Yeah.
and you go larger, like you see some of these rednecks around here. I ain't going off on rednecks, I'm one of them, amen?
Yes, sir.
But you see these rednecks, and they got, they got tires that big on a soap pan. Now that's one thing I've never, and I've done it, I'm guilty. I mean, throw a rock in a pack of dogs and the one gets hit squalls, amen? And I've done it. I mean, you spend $2,000 on a $300 truck
Yep.
just to put tires and wheels on.
Amen.
And I justify it by this. Well, I can always sell tires and wheels.
Yeah.
I throw the truck in for free, but I can sell tires. But then I wear them out and you can't get nothing out of them.
Yep.
Amen? But you'll put tires on a truck that big, but that speedometer just barely moves.
Amen.
Especially if it's a General Motors.
Yeah.
Amen. You can pay me flat later, Ian. He's Ford man. Amen. But so that standard keeps everything the way it's supposed to be.
Amen.
Yeah.
That standard tire keeps your fuel economy
Yeah.
accurate. You got bigger tires? I ain't get 2 miles a gallon. Amen. So you see what I'm getting at. And if you go too slow, you're going to burn more gas because you're going so much faster and you
Yeah.
like it.
Amen.
That, I'm telling you, there's a little bit of speed demon in every one of us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Except Bethany. Haley was born with it. I won't ride with her to this day unless I have to. Scares me to death. She ain't wide open, but she's about 3/4. I mean, she ain't got a whole lot more to go to get to wide open. But you see what I'm saying? That standard keeps everything in its proper proportion, that everything works properly.
Amen.
So what is the standard? Now we understand that about a tire. So what's the standard on the spiritual side of things? The
Yeah.
standard is this. I will hide His words in my heart that I might not
Right.
sin against
Yeah.
God.
Right.
So it said.
Right.
Amen.
He said to love your neighbor as you love
Right.
yourself.
Yeah.
Amen. He said not forsaking the sinners yourselves together.
Right.
Right.
That's what he meant.
Yeah.
Amen. He tells us how to dress. He tells us how to look. He tells us how
Sure.
to act. He tells us how to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not talking about the dress you see. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about He tells us how to cover our nakedness and be modest.
Amen.
Amen. He tells us that we're supposed to be different.
Amen.
If you're a child of God, you're supposed to be
Yeah.
different than the world.
Amen.
Man.
But you know what's happening today? We've got the world full of churches. Man, we can go from stop sign to stop sign up here, and if we put everybody in all the churches like that, we'd probably fill up any one of the buildings.
Amen. Yeah.
Average cars, 4 cars to a church.
Yeah.
Amen. There's 15 in Emmanuel. You know, you'd have figured 35, 40
Oh, yeah.
up there. Oak Grove didn't have 12. The little church, I ain't never seen nobody that had 6 in the cars up here.
Oh.
They come in late and go leave early, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe we're earlier and later than they are. But the point of it is this: the church houses are emptying.
Yeah.
And it ain't, listen, it's not just the fundamental Bible believing churches, it's all of them.
Yeah.
It's all, I mean, there's a few that, you know, really doing wonderful in science, but they're having their rock and roll concerts.
Amen.
Right.
I don't know nothing about music anymore except gospel music. I quit listening to everything when I got saved 20 years ago. But I can tell you this, I guarantee if there's a concert tonight, it'd probably be sold out if they're famous.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
The rock and roll and the country, and I mean even them women that I like to hear sing so good.
Yeah.
Who are they? What's it called? Celtic.
Celtic one.
I'm still gonna go see them one of these days before I die. Even if it is sin. It won't be the worst that I've ever committed, I'm sure. And they ain't that good looking. I like the sound.
Yeah.
It ain't the physical appearance. I love the way they sound.
Yeah.
I've told my wife a dozen times I'd marry Alison Christ if she'd just sling me to sleep every night. Amen. We'll change her denominations. We can have 2 wives at one time. Amen. Betty can cook and clean, and Alison Christ can sing me to sleep. But then she can share her wealth with you, honey. That's pretty fire, ain't it? Huh? That's better than what you got. Amen. But see, that's the mind of the flesh, right there. Well, I don't know, but hold up, man. You're doing it all now, like you say.
Yeah.
So at least you get a little bit of help, amen. But then we also see here, now he came and he dwelt among us, but I always look in 1 Timothy chapter number 3, I'll read one verse of scripture here. In 1 Timothy 3:16, the Bible says, and without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh,
Yeah.
justified in the spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the world, received up into glory. Dinosaurs. We are.
Yeah.
We're dinosaurs for sitting on church pews
Yeah.
Right.
and trying to live, whether succeeding or failing, trying to live by the Word of God.
Amen.
Man, this is the thing of the past.
Yes, sir.
No wonder the Bible anymore, nobody's got much for the Word of God, period. I mean,
Amen.
the battle, it's always been a battle between the King James Bible and NIV for the last, 40, 50 years. But now, that's not even the battle. The battle now is nobody hardly wants to do anything for the glory of God.
Amen.
So why come to church?
Yeah,
Why be found in the house of God?
yeah,
Why have the Lord in your life? Besides, listen, if there was no heaven, and there was no hell, and there is,
yeah,
but if there was in either one of those places, if we returned to the dust of the earth, and that was the end of it, why go to church?
yeah.
What's the point? What's the use? Amen. I bet fish are biting today. I bet trade lodges are going today. Walmart's liable to start having Sunday specials.
Yeah.
There's something that's more entertaining.
Sure.
There's something that's more fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that's more fun than sitting on a church pew, listening to somebody scream at you and tell you you ain't living good.
Yeah.
Amen. And
Right.
spitting on you if you're sitting on the front.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
I go to church to get spit on. But think about it for just a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just stop thinking. If there was no heaven to gain and there was no hell to shun, what's the use?
Man.
The church is dying. It is. Now, the true church is going to be born out of here. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But if you was to just drive through and you had no knowledge of the Word of God and the things of God, and you drove through today, Avery County, and you looked at the churches, what would you think?
Yeah.
What would you think? You'd think, what's the use?
Yeah.
There ain't nobody going.
Man.
I just go. If I went, they just want my money.
Right.
Amen. I know a local pastor bought a house. Not pretty recently. Bought a house in McDowell County and paid $636,000 for it. And the church is wanting to run him off for buying a second home. Now, if I left it at that, that makes sense, don't it? He don't need a second house. Who needs two houses? Right? But what they left out was he sold the one he was living in for more than what he bought this one for. He made money off of selling the former house, and he's living in a house that he likes better, and he tithes on what he made off of it. That's what the standard says.
Yeah.
That's what God says to do.
Man.
Right now, he ain't necessarily dealing with buying houses, but it's the same concept. But now the church wants rid of it because he didn't need two houses. Well, he don't have to. He's got one, and he got tired of living next to the church because they're driving him crazy, so he moved 2 counties away.
Man.
And now he drives back and forth to church. Amen. But that's the state of mind that we're in. We done I helped Ian yesterday do a job. I was aggravating a guy. He's a preacher, and I told him, I said, you can't invite certain people over to your house. Because people see his new floor put in, and they think you're making too much money, and they'll be jealous, and they'll tell everybody in the church that you're just there for the money.
Man.
That's what's going on.
Man.
No, I'm not listening. Don't misunderstand. I'm not talking about the Joel Osteen mansions and stuff like that. I see that. I mean, that's his business. That's what he wants to do. Ain't no skin off my teeth, as old saying is. But I can get that. There's no point in having a $7 million house when you got people starving to death in the church.
Yeah.
Amen. Ain't no point in having 5 airplanes. You can't ride one at a time. I mean, if only one of them's good, sell the other for scrap.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it makes sense to me. And when you don't go nowhere nohow, that you even need them, it's just a showing of the flesh, all that stuff is. But you see what I'm getting at is Jesus came and in the flesh, and he dwelt. The Bible said dwelt among us.
Right.
What does that word mean?
Yeah.
He lived with mankind to show us the standard.
Man.
And what was the standard?
Yeah.
He said the foxes have holes, but the Son of Man hath nowhere to lay his head.
Man.
Amen. They didn't bury him in the family graveyard. They placed him in a borrowed tomb.
Man.
Joseph of Arimathea had that tomb built, and folks, that wasn't just a single dwelling tomb either. There's 6 graves in that thing.
Man.
Number of man.
Yeah.
Amen. And once Jesus was placed in that borrowed tomb and resurrected, nobody's ever been in that grave since.
Amen.
Neither will they ever will be, because they're making money off people like me to go over and see it.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't believe in Jesus being the Son of God, but they sure believe He can bring some money in. And you ain't never in your life seen a bunch of money hungry as they are in Israel. Which is fine, I mean, no. I know what their end is if they don't get right with the Lord. I know what my end is. Amen. I know what my end is when I leave, if I ain't right with the Lord at that particular time, I still know I'm going to be with Him.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So now I want you to get this. He dwelled among us.
Right.
I've thought much about this just this morning. My heart about this, about what to do in this service this morning. The churches are really dying. They really are. There's some good people. Now, I'm not bad mouthing people. There's some good people that has left the house of God. Some's going to other churches, but most of them aren't going anywhere.
Amen.
Amen. She's recording this service and it'll be on Facebook whenever she loads it up tonight or tomorrow, whenever she puts it on there. A lot of people today are saying, well, I'm not listening to some TV preacher. That's wrong. I'm listening to local pastors, and that's becoming their church.
Yeah. Amen.
A lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
When we preach on the radio, there's some people that get it in their mind. Well, Miss Sue, for example. She can get it in her mind if she ain't real easy and careful. She can say, well, I'm getting preached to every Sunday, which is a lot better, through the winter she didn't get to come. So one Sunday on the radio is a lot better than nothing by all means, but if she's not careful, she can get in her mind, well, I'm being fed. That's my church.
Amen.
And that's what the world's moving to.
Yeah.
With all of the electronics and all of the technology that's out there today, church is almost ready to shut the doors.
Amen.
But you stop at the quick shop in Newland, you can't hardly get in. I couldn't even find a parking place this morning.
Oh.
Betwixt the car lot that they've got there and the people that was there. I had to pull over next to the road and sit and wait and get a parking spot. And the store was full when I got in the store. Amen. And the restaurants are full.
Amen.
That's the older people. The younger people ain't got out of bed yet.
Yeah.
Amen. Then the younger people, they'll be out tonight while the older people's in the bed. I think that's a fair balance to keep the world spinning. Because we's all awake now at the same time, we just have to stand there and sit around. We walk over yonder, but there ain't nowhere to stand over there.
Yeah.
We're overpopulated. But the Lord's fixing to remedy a little bit of that problem.
Yeah.
The Lord's fixing to come again before His bride out here.
Amen.
There won't be a whole lot of empty spots, but there's going to be some empty. There'll be some places to stand. Hey, two people can stand where I stand if they smile.
Sure.
Two Christines could fit in my shadow.
Yeah. Amen.
It was our debate the other day, told her she was a zipper. She stick her tongue out and turn sideways. Amen. But the Lord's fixing to come again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care what you believe. I don't care how long you've believed it. If you can't look around you this morning and tell that this thing's wrapping up, you're blind.
Amen.
You're blind. Amen.
Amen.
One of the fastest growing churches in America today is in Atlanta, Georgia. And the reason it's growing is because you come in and the pastor and a board will take surveys, individual private surveys. They'll call you in a room and they'll take a survey of what you like, what you don't like. And that panel, that board of people will sit down and they'll find somebody else that's in the church with the same likes and dislikes. I don't care if you're married or not. And they'll pair you up and they'll take and give it 2 weeks to see if it works. And it's growing. But there ain't no preaching. It's a social gathering.
Yeah.
In the name of religion.
Amen.
The government's fixing to tax the church.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Amen.
Which, I mean, that's fine. I ain't got no problem with that. I don't. I mean, I don't like it, but I ain't got no. God said, obey the laws of the land. But if you can't tell the Lord's fixing to come back, man, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Amen.
Now, I didn't say that to be ugly to you, I mean it because I'm concerned about
Yeah.
you.
Amen.
He's fixing to come again.
Amen.
I had a guy tell me the other day, been a deacon in the church for years and years and years and years, I mean a lot of years. Asked me the other day, he said, don't it say in the Bible, when the Lord, before the Lord comes, you'll be able to tell what seasons are? And I'm like, no. As a matter of fact, it says just the opposite.
Yeah.
I said, according to the Word of God, as long as time lasts, there will be the seasons. That's
Right.
what the Word of God teaches.
Yeah.
He said, well, I always thought, and I said, well, you ever read it?
Yeah.
If you ever read the book, you ever pick it up and read it?
Amen.
Well, it's in there.
Yeah.
Amen. And if you just go, and I sat before the sons of the house of the Rechabites, pots full of wine and cups, and I said unto them, drink you wine. Yep, I've read it.
Yep.
That didn't do me a bit good.
No.
That ain't a bit different than standing and looking at the headlines of National Enquirer and the checkout line at Eagles.
Yeah. Amen.
Matter of fact, you'll get more out of that.
Sure.
Because it'll have some kind of a picture that'll get in your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amen. You see the one where they're making fun of that woman that had that, whatever they put in her lips to make her lips swell up? They was making fun of her and said she had a peanut allergy. And said that at least my hair looks good. Some Hollywood actress, and man, I'll tell you what, her lips was big. Looked like one of them fake lips that you used to get out of the quarter machine the young ones would walk around and wear. And that was probably an injustice to how big they were. I mean, they was grown plumb. You couldn't hardly. I mean, you could see it pulling the skin, but her lips was so heavy. It was pulling the skin down. I'd hate to see her smile.
Yeah.
Amen. It looked like the Joker off Batman.
Yeah.
By the way, if you ain't seen Dolly lately, that's about what she looks like too. But bless her heart, she's about to be 100 years old. Now, I'm going to do something this morning that's very, very unusual. But I want you to remember this. He became flesh and dwelt among us.
Right.
I've never done this before in my life, and I probably will never do it like this again. I always go to Corinthians and use Paul's writings, and sometimes go and refer to the Gospels in this. But before Jesus went away at the last meal that he had with the disciples, right after he broke bread and gave thanks, and took the wine and gave thanks, and right after that, that's where they take him to the judgment halls. That's where they beat him, and that's where Peter pulled his sword out and cut the ear off the soldier, and the Lord put it back on him. Right?
Yeah.
And Jesus never came back to his people
Yeah.
in the flesh again after this, before he ascended to the Father. He goes from there to give his life on the cross. Now, don't you think about that cross. He became flesh and dwelt among us. This is only, not that dirty, it's just dirty in there. It's only like the fifth time we've done this in 15 years. 15. It's not something that we do every Sunday like a lot of churches do. And it is different this morning than what we normally do. This do in remembrance of me.
Yeah.
Run across from that table.
Yeah.
Talking about communion. Talking about remembering what he's done.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid this morning there's part of our remembrance that we have forgotten.
Amen.
Amen.
I want us to remember this morning not the death, burial, and resurrection. I want us to remember for a few minutes this morning that he became flesh and dwelt among us.
Yeah.
And when we remember he became flesh and dwelt among us, we won't sit and wonder anymore.
Yeah.
Lord, do you really know what I'm going through?
Amen.
If you really knew how it felt to feel like I'm feeling, you'd do something about it.
Yeah.
You ever do that? I do. And then I have to say, oh, foolish me.
Yeah.
Amen. Sometimes it'd be good if the Lord would, like on the cartoon, let the little devil pop up on one
Yeah.
shoulder and the little angel on the other. Sometimes it'd do good for the devil to pop up there and say, yeah, just go ahead and doubt God, and then that little angel just jump up and say, oh, silly boy.
Yeah.
You're looking at the battle that you're in, but you can't remember the battles that He's done and delivered you from.
Amen.
Amen. Right.
I'm going to tell you something. Now, you ain't going to like this because it crucifies your flesh this morning. I don't care what kind of battle you're in right now. I don't care if you just found out yesterday you've got 3 days to live and you're eat up with cancer. Actually, that's not that bad of news in today's time.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're suffering through this morning. I promise you, it is not the worst battle you've ever had.
Amen.
Now listen. And the worst battle you can think of is not the worst battle that you've ever had. The worst battle that you've ever had is when you sat on a church pew or in a ditch line or on a mountaintop and you was a sinner going to hell. And the Holy Ghost of God come to where you were.
Yeah.
And He revealed it to
Yeah.
you that you were lost.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the worst battle. That's the biggest battle any one of us could. Listen, you could live a life of 70 years in suffering and pain. And that's horrible, and I don't want nobody to have to go live through that. But that's nothing to be compared when you sat there lost.
Yeah.
And the God that became flesh
Yeah.
and dwelt among us
Amen.
come to where you were
Amen.
in the form of the Holy Spirit
Yeah.
and dealt with your heart.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You see, I'm not one of them. I'm an easy believism person. I believe it's very easy to believe.
Yeah.
But I'm not a repeat after me prayer type of preacher. Amen. I bet you we could get millions of people if we got on the internet, could probably get enough. It's untenable. If that worked, and just say, if you'll say this simple prayer, you can go to heaven when you die.
Yeah.
We can get millions of professions of faith. But that don't cut it, you see.
Amen.
It's a personal encounter with the Holy Ghost of God.
Yeah.
It's a conviction. Amen. It ain't just the Lord passes by and says, how y'all doing? It's a conviction. It's a condemning
Yeah.
Sir.
presence of the Holy Ghost of God
Amen.
that says, hey, you're lost. Well, I'm on that note, let me say something right here. Now look there, saith, Lord, didn't bring. The Bible says that He died for all humanity. He died for sinners.
Yeah.
He didn't come to call the righteous but sinners to repentance. Right? So we know He died for you. He died for the Charles Manson.
Sure.
He died for the child that was raised in the house of God its whole life.
Yeah.
It's never done much what we know is wrong. See, it don't make a difference how big a sinner or how little a sinner.
Man.
I mean, it's like saying, well, I'm white. I'm a little white or I'm a whole lot white. No, I'm just white.
Amen.
Right, amen. Just like a woman is pregnant. She's just a little pregnant or she's a whole lot. No, she's pregnant or she ain't pregnant. It's just that.
Amen.
Now, she may be farther or shorter in the terms, but she's still pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Make sense what I'm saying? And God said that if you go without chastisement, y'all are partakers and bystanders in my sons. And tell you what crushes my heart more than anything else, when I really sit and think about it, and I try not to, how many people sits on church pews with a profession that they know God? And a red light turned yellow when it's supposed to have been red. I know a man that surrendered to God to preach by how many turkeys was in a field. He said he felt like the Lord was dealing with him to preach, and he prayed and said, Lord, if it's really you want me to preach, he said, when I pass by Mr. So old man so and so's field, he said, if there's this many turkeys in that field, I'll preach. That morning on the way to church, he stopped, counted, there's exactly that many turkeys, and he's been preaching ever since. He based his ministry on something he had a part of.
Yeah. Amen.
Don't you think the devil could have put 25 turkeys in that fish? Or whatever the number was? Well, sure he could. Amen.
Yeah.
But you know what? He still preaches today, but he don't preach conviction.
Amen.
He preaches emotionalism. Now, I'm not bad mouthing the guy. I'm bad mouthing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Leading people astray.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. You gotta go work here. I know. Don't worry about it. Because it's going to take longer than what time we got left to do what I asked you to do this morning. But listen, he died for the sinners. Bad sinners,
Yeah.
mild sinners. He died for sinners.
Yeah.
He didn't die for professions. He died for possessions.
Amen.
You see, when you get saved, you become his bride. You become his possession.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
He didn't die for professions. He died for possessions.
Yeah.
And he said, this do in remembrance of me, and as often as you do it, give thanks and remember why you do it.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you this morning, the Bible says in the book of Corinthians, is if any man take of this unworthily, it can cause you to get sick.
Yeah.
It can cause you to die.
Yeah. Amen.
Preach all believe that. I do.
Mm-hmm. Better.
I do.
Yeah.
If you don't believe it, that's between you and the Lord. It ain't my job to make you believe anything.
Yeah.
But before we take communion this morning, we're going to give you an opportunity this morning. If you've got any unconfessed sin in your life this morning, I wouldn't check to you. You don't have to come. You don't have to do this. And nobody
No.
won't think nothing about you if you don't.
No.
Amen. We've got people in the church that I've never seen take communion. Never. And I respect them for it.
Yes, sir.
If they've got something that's a hindering them, I don't want them to do something that the Bible says to them not to do.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen. Because this is the final authority this
Yeah.
morning. But I got thinking about all these churches that died. Robbie, I caught this the last minute of his Sunday school this morning. But the churches, it's growing weaker. It really truly is. I'm not talking about just fellowship, I'm talking about the churches.
Yeah.
The church. Whether they're right or whether they're not, except for a few, we're dying breed, we're dying.
Yeah.
So if you're in a spiritual service, right here is the most spiritual service, biblically,
Yeah.
that you can have.
Amen.
Now, like I said, it's a little different this morning. I don't have grape juice in there. And it ain't Mad Dog. Amen. But it's got great flavor in it, but it ain't crunch. It's open. Because Stephanie won't me bring something in here and make her yummy. Amen. And we don't have the little bitty crackers that's unleavened this morning that you buy. We got saltines. Which is the same thing with salt.
Yeah.
Amen.
That was used for blessings too.
Yes, sir. But I want you to get this morning. This is no spiritual service you can have. Because when you take of this juice and you take of this bread, you are acknowledging this morning in remembrance of me, not just the death, burial, and resurrection, but you're remembering his life.
Yeah. Amen.
You're remembering his suffering. You're remembering what he stepped out of,
Yeah.
the glory of heaven. He left that and came into a sin-cursed world. Now, you listen to the way I said that. I mean more than just those words. He stepped into a world that was cursed. What does that mean? It had no hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had no hope.
Right.
We go to West Virginia and try to feed those hungry people. We're going in December, we're going to do a toy run and a food run this year. 40,000 pounds of food is what we're trying to get out.
Yeah.
That's a pie.
Oh, yeah.
Amen. I got an old truck at the house we're fixing to start working on. That big white truck in the backyard. We're fixing to jerk transmission out, put a rear main seal in, change the rear end, cause it's a roaring, and get that dude up here at Newland, what's his name, with the signs? Yeah, I think that's his name, up behind the dollar store. We're gonna, see if we can't get him to hook us up on a body wrap, and paint the cab, and do a body wrap on that, and now folks, that thing, it's 17 foot long in the top of it, 15 foot long in the bottom of it, 7 foot tall, and we're gonna fill that thing up with toys. And on the side of it, it's gonna be a name, Project Hope Ministries.
Amen.
Be good.
Done got the rear end located. And when Tom Scott Cole gets done talking to them, they'll probably take it out and bring it to me. That'd be alright if I do. But we got, that thing sitting there, and I've walked by a million times, and I thought, I'll do something with it. That's what we're doing. So, but we're trying to bring hope.
Yeah.
Jesus came into the world, because they had no hope.
Amen.
They had no hope.
Amen.
Okay, you couldn't have traveled enough countries and visited enough churches.
Amen.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You had no hope.
Sure.
No hope. Let's bow our heads for just a moment.